And a great way to find what leading sectors there are and what sectors are lagging so you can avoid them, it's just a quick scan of the ETFs. ARK Genomic Revolution. You take a look at this. This is the 200-day. This is the falling 50-day. This is falling on heavy volume here and here. You can sit there and find out real quick. Go on Google. What are the top 10? What are the top 10 holdings in this stock or in this ETF? What's it tell you? Stay away from these types of stocks in this group. Done. Next one. ARK Innovation was really leading. Now it's just going sideways, not demonstrating any strength yet. First off, avoid the ETF. Secondly, be careful with the leading stocks they own, the top 10 holdings. ARK Generation Internet, similar situation. It's a little bit better, but it's below the 200-day. Leave it alone. Find out what they own. Be careful with it. Please know when I say this, I am not criticizing the fund management one bit. No, that's a lame game. We don't do that. It's easy to look back on the sidelines on, oh, look at this, look at this. Get on the battlefield and see what it's like, all right? It's a different animal. This just helps us know areas to avoid. Biotech is hanging in there. That's good to see there, up on good volume. What does this tell you in 1 second? Your biotech's an area to look at. Very good. Cloud computing's hanging in there. What does this tell you? Look at the cloud computing stocks. Energy's starting to pick up. Look at some energy. Dow Jones, this First Trust, Dow Jones Internet. Look at some internet stocks. Technology. IBD 50 starting to lead again. Look at the IBD 50. Growth. Gold. Look at gold miners. In 1 second, it says stay away from gold miners. Done. Junior gold miners. Stay away from junior gold miners. Gold. Stay away. Done. Literally, in 1 to 3 seconds, you can say, I'm not going to look at any gold stocks. Move on. Cybersecurity's hanging in there. You look at some of that. Biotechnology. Another biotechnology ETFs. It's hanging near highs. Something to watch. Fell fairly hard, though, on Friday, but on less volume. But it's still above the rising 50. Online retail, lagging. Leave it alone. North American technology, near 52-week highs. What does that cost us to do? Well, when you go through all these ETFs, it did this week. We're involved in technology growth. There you go. Medical's hanging in there. That's good to see. Mid-cap, it's chopping around a little bit. There's nothing really special with mid-cap. Home builders, stay away. That's simple. Move on. You don't have to overthink it. This one, I put this note on here. This one was a lot of the MAXLIST stock. It's hanging in there. Look at some of the MAXLIST stock, and you're going to see that in the other video. Small cap, it's okay, but not really leading. Airline stocks starting to pick up a little bit. Maybe they'll push through the 200-day. Good volume coming into it. That's good to see. Regional banking, hanging in there. Not real robust, but it's hanging in there. Mid-cap, it's kind of lagging. Nothing there. Oil services lagging. Leave it alone. Online retail, lagging. Leave it alone. Software, this software ETF, stay away from software. Leave it alone. This is the inverse ETF on QLD. Okay, this is the short. It's falling. Maybe the other side's acting better. Oh, gee whiz, it is. QLD. I love QLD. Have made a lot of money off this ETF through the years. Hanging above the 50 days. See that price alert? Starts to take that off. Big NASDAQ growth starting to pick up. QQQ, similar situation. Inverse ATS, nothing there. Sky, cloud computing, hanging in there. There's 2 cloud computing ETFs, one right after the other, that just say, maybe look at cloud computing. Silver, nothing there. Leave it alone. And team, by the way, when I do that, I'm not trying to be cute, okay? I'm just trying to point out through my verbiage how quickly we can reach decisions. Leave it alone. Silver's done. Steel, done. Leave it alone. Semiconductors, hanging in there. Technology related. You hear that theme? Semiconductors, another semiconductor ETF, hanging in there. Technology. Spiders, starting to lift. Now, this is what this needs to do. This is important. This fell on really heavy volume, okay? Really heavy volume. And it's rallying back up on decreasing volume. The S&P 500 needs to show some life right here and not start rolling over again. Be aware of that. I am not saying it's going to happen. We don't forecast. We don't need to forecast emission winners. We just get in line with what is. No opinions. Leveraged one fell on heavy volume. Needs to start showing some life. Perhaps it will. And again, no forecasting, just saying this needs to show some price and volume power. Solar, lagging. Leave it alone. Small cap, lagging. It needs to show some life. Oil. Remember we talked about energy hanging in? Oil's picking up a little bit. Okay, oil stocks. Very good. Aerospace defense, lagging. Leave it alone. Biotechnology. This biotechnology ETF isn't doing too much. Energy. Look at that. We talked about oil. Here's energy. What has it been saying? Look at some energy stocks. Home builders, lagging. Leave it alone. It was a leader for a while, but now it's lagging. You can say when? Back here. Look at that. But now, it's not performing. Leave them alone. Materials. How do you build things? Like houses. You need materials. Lagging. Housing lagging. Materials lagging. Leave it alone. Communication services. Down on heavy volume. Till this starts pushing above the 50-day. Communications. Be careful with those types of stocks. Energy. This energy is picking up a little bit. There you go. That's good. We just talked about oil. Financials are coming back. That's good to see. Okay. Financials are a big stalwart in relation to the markets. Good to see. And people's confidence. Industrials lagging. Another industrial ETF. Leave it alone. Technology. Oh, that's hanging in there. Okay. Do you see the theme? Technology, software, cloud computing, on and on. Technology, growth, quality growth is acting okay. There we go. Consumer staples. There's nothing going on there. Leave it alone. Utilities. Stay away. I mean, look at this. Literally, folks, in 1 second, you could sit there and say, I ain't going to look at any utility stocks and I ain't going to buy any utility stocks. That's something most people don't even know, but you do. That's why I do this. Consumer discretionary, that's hanging in there. XLY, find out their top 10 holdings. Maybe there's something good in there. But what's it need to do? Go across these tops. But it's near 52-week highs. That's good to see. I want you to look at this, and then I want you to take a look at this. What's leading? You get my point. There's biotechnology again, energy we talked about, home builders lagging, consumer, we've been through this, communications, energy, financials, I just rehashing through the bottom part of it. Industrials lagging. Technology we went through. Consumer staples. Utilities. What does this tell you? Stay away from the utilities. Consumer discretionary. That's hanging in there. The consumer. You know, there's a valuable lesson. Everybody's talking about COVID and stuff like that, and it's the end of the world. And I'm not minimizing it. Please, that's not my point here. And I'm not getting political either. I'm saying there's a tremendous amount of information in the charts. We could sit there and say, COVID's destroying everything, the economy, nobody's buying anything. Consumer discretionary? COVID. I don't know about you. That looks pretty dang good to me. There you go. That's why we look at the charts. There's power in the charts. Metals and mining lagging, nothing there. Another energy starting to pick up. See that theme? Several energy groups. Retail, just chopping around, nothing special. Software, another software or technology ETF. Back to the top. So what's the big theme here? Well, it looks like a lot of the technology-related sectors, ETFs, stocks in those groups, are acting okay. It's hanging in there. So what do we go to next? It's simple. The MAXLIST stocks. These are the institutional darlings. The big name stocks. Apple. It's just hanging in a little bit below the 50-day. Fell on heavy volume here and here and here. What does it need then? It rallied on decreasing volume. This needs to take out these highs and push above the 50-day on heavy volume. Heavy like these bars, these down volume bars. We need heavy up volume. Until then, be a little cautious. Amazon fell, but it's hanging in right here. But it did fall on volume. That is heavy selling there, and it's a big reversal bar. This starts to lift off the 50-day. What do you need to see? You're going to have to see volume pushing through here because there was some selling in there. Be aware of that. Alibaba, folks, don't overthink it. Just leave it alone. It's nothing. It's dead. It's dead money. Now, could it change eventually? Yeah, but for right now, it's done. BIDU, similar situation. There's nothing there. You will not find this in any chart book anywhere saying, this is the kind of setups that you want to make money. It ain't going to happen. Facebook. This was really good to us, rallied up, started to lose it here, fell on heavy volume, rallying back up, but on less volume. It's going to have to get back over the 50-day. Need some work. I'd be careful with it. Leave it alone. Google's still hanging in. Yeah, we're still wrapped up in Google. Yes, from here and here and here. Still own it. In it. Bounces out the 50-day. Let it work. No really clean and simple entry here. Here's the weekly chart. Oh, now look at that. Bouncing off the 10-week moving average. Isn't that interesting? Actually, that's the 8-week exponential, but it's similar to the 10-week simple. There we go. Lifting off. It's hanging in there. See that line? I'd love to see it base up and lift up and then take out that line. Guess what we'll do? We'll buy more. There we go. Goldman Sachs, I told everybody, and you can ask the VIPs, on this bar, there were some VIPs that bought this. It ran up and it started to reverse down. And, you know, this is the honest to goodness truth. I said, be careful with this. I'd be selling. Look what that did. Big reversal bars that gap up and reverse down on heavy volume. Tail bar. That's called a tail bar. Be careful with it. There you go. MasterCard's lagging. This needs to at least get back over the 200-day, but there's nothing here. Microsoft. Microsoft was great for us back here. Great trend. Locked it out. Took it. And what's it need to do? It's basing. Perhaps it'll base and start to lift again. If it does, guess what we'll do? We'll buy it again. There we go. We made good money on this, though. That's nice. And note the trend. It's nothing fancy. Everybody, do you see any oscillators on here? You're not going to see any of that. We don't need it. Price and volume talk. And trends pay more than anything else. Let it work. Netflix was a great run here. You all know this. Look at that. Look at that lift right there. We picked it up right here and takes off. It's a good return. And now it's just chopping around a little bit. What could be a potential entry? Take out the highs from Thursday on heavy volume. We'll be watching. NVDA, we're in. It started to lift. It fell. We sold a portion off. Now we'll watch it and see if it can go. You can say, why did you sell some? Protection. Your first loss is your best loss. And we keep our losses extremely small. 7 to 8%? No way. Not here. We don't do that. Square, downward sloping trend line. Note this. Decent close here. Fell on less volume. What does it need to do? It needs to push above Friday's highs, preferably above Thursday's highs. It needs to do it on heavy volume, and it needs to do it in a good market. And guess what? If it does, we'll be ready. Tesla. See that clean and simple? Watch this. You'll love this. See that clean and simple tops right there? It's like, gosh, by the way, see the volume on that bar? That's power. Fell here, and then it starts marching back on less volume. But clean and simple tops, what were we looking for? Take out that line on heavy volume. Oh, gee whiz, it did. I'm so surprised. No, we're not. It's clean and simple base patterns. They work. This is the daily chart. Here's the hourly chart. See that reversal bar, the first hour, Friday? And look at what it does there. Guess what? You see that right there, that volume? Yeah, we're part of it. Take it to the 30-minute chart. Oh, surprise, surprise. We were looking at this, hourly and 30-minute. This is what we do in Mission Winners. It's not rocket science. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. Folks, they voted. And guess what we were doing? We were buying. You could take it down to 10-minute. Boom, boom. And we're buying. There we go. And then it goes sideways, and we find a couple spots to buy more. And we bought more Friday here. We're buying more. Remember this, though. The first buy is the biggest. Ensuing buys, less shares. Rules of proper pyramiding. And it works. Never get too top heavy in the stock. Now, if you don't own this, this is for non-VIPs. If you don't own this, please be careful making your first buy up here. All right? I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just saying be careful. Be a little bit more stringent. There you go. Twitter. Twitter's starting to pick up. MAXLIST stock. See that price alert there? This starts to follow through. Hey, there's something there. Maybe we'll watch. Visa's picking up, but just like Master, there's nothing here. Leave it alone. When you can understand the concept, now we know what to focus on. And that's power. Systematize. This is what we do in Mission Winners.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.